Hello friends, welcome back to the Veteran Transfer Project resume series. In this episode, we're taking the rough bullets that we made in the previous video, and we're going to refine that using action words to get a final product that we will then include in our submittable resume. So we're almost done. Action, not adjective. Here's my alternate title. Utilize action words to facilitate the most galvanized impact. I hope that made you nauseous, because that means you have good taste and we can work together. However, I'm not completely joking, because what action words do, these are actually examples that I pulled from the internet. Galvanized a cross-functional team, facilitated interdepartmental communication. Right? So as nausea-inducing as they might be for some of us, these are things that people are expecting to see, and these are the people making decisions. So we're going to talk about using these action verbs in a way that allows us to preserve a little bit of dignity. So first, how to actually use them or put them in place. We'll go back to the example that we had in our previous video, and it was these two sentences: responsible for organizing and executing a joint training exercise. Well, we can take those, find the most important verb or verbs, and rearrange so that they come first. So in this case, it's pretty straightforward. It goes from responsible for organizing and executing to being organized and executed. Again, according to the literature, this makes you sound more powerful and energetic and assertive. And to an extent, I get it. I agree. It is a little more concise and sharp. It's just that it can be overdone, so we have to be careful. Next, we take those re-centered sentences and take the verbs, change them to a more pretentious verb. So in the other example that we had from the last video, we had this: helped two teammates set up their college benefits and begin college classes. Well, we can change those verbs slightly and get assisted teammates in setting up and applying benefits to pursue college classes. Pursue, right? And yes, to an extent, that is a little more powerful, a little more energetic, a little more assertive. Again, moderation. And that brings me to our next point, which is avoid the thesaurus trap. Okay, it's easy. We have a tendency, I do this all the time, where you think you want to use this word, but maybe you want to make it sound cooler. So maybe instead of lead, you want to use galvanized, but then you want to look up galvanized to make sure you're using it correctly. Skip it. If you have to search it, skip it. Don't use anything you can't use comfortably in conversation. Having said all that, we've rearranged our sentences, changed the verbs a little bit, and now we're taking these same examples, and remember, in their original form, they're these sort of two sentences compiled, which again, to an extent, is fine, but the format and the expectation is just a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to take assisted teammates in doing this while serving, period. This increased, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to take that and we're going to say assisted teammates in setting up and applying, blah, 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 while serving, leading to increased promotability, blah, blah, blah. So now all of this is one sentence with an action, a result, and an effect of the result. Organized and executed joint training exercise. Results were this, this, and this. Okay, great. Organized and executed blah, 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 resulting in increased tactical proficiency, or just increasing tactical proficiency, deployment readiness, team cohesion, and inter-team cooperation. That's most of what we need to do. Just some quick thoughts on this. Number one, we might have heard from a few sources that we should use numbers and make things quantifiable and measurable in our resume. That is true in some cases, and I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying don't worry about it, right? The exception, I was told this, maybe is for business majors. Maybe it does help if you know that's what you want to do and it's a school that cares about that focuses on this major. Sure, it shows that you are taking conscientious preparation for this thing that you care about. Number 2, and perhaps more importantly, this alludes to our title, action, not adjective. Saying things like, and we talked about this in skills and interests, if you say like your skills are driven, motivated, intuitive, creative, or if you somehow put that somewhere as bullets or as something, it's just not very useful, because these are things that should show through your actions. They should show through the way we present ourselves. And the resume, like it or not, is a finite space. And even if we think that right now we don't have that much to put on it, it fills up pretty fast. So we should save the space and show the things that we want to say about ourselves through our actions, through the stories that we tell in our essays, and again, hopefully, through the letters of recommendation, where those people have fewer inhibitions to brag about us. Okay, so now we're at a pretty good place. We got our mindset from the KISS video, Keep It Simple Student. We talked about how to organize and structure our resume. And in the last video, we talked about word vomiting, getting a bunch of content on paper, trimming it down, extending it to why it matters. In this video, we took those bullets, those rough bullets, polished them down into something presentable. And in the next video, we will take this resume, which right now was a blank sheet of paper and right now is a filled out thing with the proper structure, with bullets where it in the places they should be. And now, remember we talked about having 5 or 6 bullets per duty station. Your resume is probably too long. In the next one, we'll trim that down. But don't worry about it now. In the next video, we'll do our final checks. For right now, our quick summary. Remember, we're rearranging the sentences to go action verbs up front. We are adjusting the verbs, tweaking them to make them more actiony. Then we're connecting the sentences to connect action to result and impact. Avoiding adjectives, avoiding thesauruses, avoiding looking up synonyms, etc. Comment with any questions. nextstepinbound.com has more campus tours, blogs, resources. Sword Circle Pen has a downloadable handbook and other of my writings. And you can also connect with me through there or through the comments, etc. And until next time in our last episode, my dear friends. Oh, and I've said this before, but yes, keep remembering to enjoy the life that you have now and caring and loving the people around you.